Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
This is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest today. We have from Medway, we have Paul Gerst and Cindy Meesk, and they are the owners and the go-to people of the Balanced Path Wellness Center. That's in Medway, right?
Correct.
We were just saying how more and more people are wanting to gravitate toward this natural path wellness type of thing. I'm seeing it a lot, and I think it's wonderful, and that's one reason I wanted you to come on. Where did I read about you? Was it in one of the local papers, or do you remember?
Yes, we had an article in the Bellingham Bulletin.
That was
I believe
it.
you had read.
And I said, this is great, we've got to have them on. First, how did you get into this? You're a psychologist?
Psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist.
Yeah. I'm a licensed social worker.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in the field for about 19 years total, but I've been doing outpatient for most of that.
19 years? What, did you start when you were 10? She looks like a kid. I was so 26 and you look so young. Wow, that's a lot.
But so I've had a private practice for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
And just really wanted to combine forces a bit in terms of working with different people that do different things. So in terms of what you're talking about in terms of natural healing, I really believe that there's all these different ways to go at health issues, and so you have mental, emotional, and physical health are all related. And so, I see my clients who, have all sorts of physical symptoms that go along with their mental health symptoms.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to work with other practitioners that do other things to try.
What do
to
they
help
call
people.
that? Somatic? It's somatic if you have a lot of physical symptoms because you're nervous and you're upset.
Psychosomatic.
Somatic?
Right, so that's, I mean, and that's an appropriate word, but it also gets kind of stigmatized
Yeah.
as if something's just in someone's head.
Sure.
And so what I say to my clients that have this happening is that because they're connected doesn't mean that what you're physically feeling isn't real. Your physical symptoms are very real.
Yeah.
They may be rooted in an emotional cause.
Sure. Paul, how did you two meet? What do you do?
I'm an acupuncturist. I've been practicing for 21 years, and I practice very much like a naturopath, meaning I deal with internal medicine components, diet and nutrition, things of that nature. So I help people with difficult chronic health issues.
So where do you practice acupuncture? Nearby?
Medway.
Okay, so you do it right there in Medway.
Yep,
That's where
same
your business
office,
is.
yep.
Where are you located in Medway?
Right on Route 109. It's 89 Main Street.
Oh, is it right? Gee, is it before the Lotus restaurant or after?
There's the long, the with Ann's Market and all the different businesses, right? Job Lot and all
Yeah.
that kind of thing. We're right across the street in an
Oh,
office
that's
building.
easy to get to. What are your hours?
It varies quite a bit. So I have 2 nights a week that I stay late, and the other days that I'm there earlier in the morning and afternoons.
How did you two meet to do this company?
Well, so I had had this vision for a long time, like I mentioned, about kind of bringing different practitioners together, and we kind of met by accident and talked and felt like this was a really good match to bring our different services together.
Oh, definitely. How long have you been working together over there? 6 months, right?
6 months,
Right.
yeah.
6 months.
We have a demographic overlap that works nicely together because a lot of the people that I come from the Upper Midwest, and where I practiced in the Upper Midwest had me being kind of a last resort for a lot of people, and so I got to see a lot of difficult cases. However, even though I saw a bunch of different kinds of things, I was gravitating a lot towards mental health issues, a lot of anxiety, depression, a lot of digestive issues, and Cindy sees a lot of the same kind of thing.
So what over there at the Balanced Path Wellness Center in Medway, what are some of the things that you offer to people to help them? What are some they come to you and what do they're looking for? Acupuncture, and then what else?
Some people look for services. Some people will present with an issue and say, "What do you got for me?" That kind of thing. So, oftentimes they come to one of us through a referral from somebody else, and then they'll end up working with both of us. And so, we have we started a health mastery network. It's a health sphere networking group, and really what it's about is because when I've been in practice long enough to realize that what makes me better is when I surround myself with great practitioners, and it's because I know I can't do it all. So if one of my patients comes in and I can't cover a piece, I want to be able to send them to somebody with confidence and say, you need to go see so and so and have this piece taken care of. And so we have a group of about 10 of us, exceptional people we both like and trust professionally.
Who do the acupuncture?
No,
All
just
different
all
things.
different things.
All different
I'm the acupuncturist in the group. We cover a lot of different ground. We have a physician in the group. We have the psychotherapist. We have people who do reflex therapy. We all sorts of different kinds of things.
How about
that we do.
massage?
We are in the
We're working on that.
We are actually we had a massage therapist. We are in the market for massage therapists. This one was at the end of her career, and so we need to pull in somebody different. So we're shopping.
Love it. Love it. I don't know. I mean, some people don't want to be touched. I mean, I have a friend, oh, I don't want to have a massage. I say, you have no idea. I say, it's not invasive. You know, it just, when you get a back rub, I try to explain to her how nice that feels. Well, these people are professional and they know how to really, really do it right. I don't know. What is it? Trust?
I put myself through acupuncture school doing massage, so that I taught at massage schools after I graduated. So that's very familiar with the art. Yeah, we'll definitely be working with them.
I tried acupuncture once. I preferred massage works better for me. I don't know why. It was okay. It was interesting. I had an Oriental lady that was doing it. Very interesting. It didn't improve the headaches, but I loved talking to her. It was perfect.
Just like anything, it's right tool, right job.
Exactly.
I mean, you go to if you present with something and you have to match with that practitioner.
Yeah.
You have to match with that therapy. That this is why we work with different people.
Yeah, so that was the reason for creating this network, is that we know that you need the right tool for the right job, and so you need to have a lot of different practitioners you can pull from and refer to if there's something that I can't handle but someone else can definitely help with this issue. I want to know who to send them to.
Well, so somebody comes to you for psychotherapy.
Right.
You think, this person will benefit from something that you offer, something else. In conjunction with the psychotherapy, they can go for the other wellness things too there. I think that is so important. That's one reason I wanted you on, because I wish more places were doing this. This was your dream for how long?
That's interesting. I'm not even sure how long I've had this in my head, but 5 to 10 years anyway. It's interesting how I always sort of envision some things coming together. And so this is sort of a first step of that
And it has.
in terms of Paul and I working together, but also creating this network is sort of the other part of that vision, because we can't get everybody under the same roof, but now we're connected to people that are really good at what they do, really passionate about what they do.
So they don't have to be underneath your roof.
No.
Somebody can come to
No.
you and you can say, look, somebody at this location is great and I highly recommend them, right?
Right.
Yeah, we vet them ourselves. We interview them. We want to know how they work with their clients or patients, whatever they call them, and a lot of times we'll get treatment from them up front, or at least, like I say, have that good sense of them as a person and how they run their business.
And you have an MD on board.
We do. We have a
GP?
primary care
Primary
physician.
Oh yeah, she's exceptional.
That's great, because they can also refer people to you.
Mhm.
I think a lot of stuff with the psychotherapy, I mean, I can't get over how great I think this is. You're blending both because it's so important. Some people just go to the therapist, they go for their session, they walk out. But there's other things that you could add to it.
Right. Because, a lot of my clients suffer with anxiety, and most of them have digestive issues because those two things go hand in
Oh,
hand.
IBS?
Yes.
Big one. Yeah. Was it Crohn's? Not so much. IBS would be more, right, for anxiety.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Crohn's and ulcerative colitis in the autoimmune spectrum. You have IBS, IBD, and so you're talking about inflammatory disorders. You're talking about functional disorders. So they all involve some degree of anxiety. It's just or in depression, and it depends where on that spectrum they fall.
Where they are.
Yeah, so you're going to hit that spectrum based because your energy comes from the digestive system, and when that's disrupted, you are going to not feel like yourself.
I've
It's
just
going to
learned
disrupt
this.
your sleeping.
It
You have brain cells in your gut. All those kinds of things. I mean, they're intertwined to such a point that you are going to experience some of that the longer you get into a disease process. So when you work with people who understand that process and can help you through that, you can get on a treatment plan that's going to get you well. And that's what's unfortunately, I come from Western medicine. I understand the process. I understand where they go wrong. Even though it's a necessary component, like I said, right tool, right job, treating chronic issues is not their forte.
Yeah.
And so throwing you on a medication that's going to leave you stuck in the symptoms that you have is not the answer.
Right. know, and people have different side effects from different meds. I know they put me on, I'm hearing an echoing sound in my ear, put me on prednisone, right? And not everybody can handle prednisone orally. Whoa, that did not do me any good at all. And it really didn't heal the problem in my ear either. But, I think that's their first choice, and God bless them. Let's go at this with prednisone. We are talking with Paul Gerst and Cindy Meesk, and they are the owners, the CEOs of the Balanced Path Wellness Center in Medway. And again, what's your address and how do people reach you?
We're at 89 Main Street, Suite 304 in Medway, and you can reach us at our website, yourbalancedpath.com.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, a lot of anxiety, and probably depression too, pre-surgical. I just have had 2 eye surgeries. This one's getting better. And wacko, you wouldn't think you would be that worked up over it, and I didn't think I would be. I thought, piece of cake, it's just nothing. It's like going to the dentist. A little bit more than that, just a little bit more. And you'd think, well, she went through it one time with the first eye, she's going to be fine the second. The second time was worse, because I knew so much from the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find a lot of pre-surgical patients really need your help to just bring it down?
Yeah, I mean, it's common to have anxiety around medical procedures, and again, we're talking about that intertwined nature of these things, so sometimes it's a chicken and the egg, like someone has a medical issue and then they end up needing some counseling to cope with it, and sometimes they have emotional issues that are creating physical responses in the body.
I think that in hospitals, this is a great idea, and I wish it could come to fruition more. When somebody's going in for surgery, refer them to you folks, so that they can customize it. Mm-hmm. I love that word. We just had 2 hearing specialists on, and they customize their approach with people. That's what I love to hear. It's customized to the person. And the approach that you have is customized. You know who to put your finger on to help them for this. You're there for psychotherapy. You also know that Peter's there for the other. I think this is awesome. But can you imagine going up to one of the hospitals, or all of them, Milford, UMass, whatever, say, this is what we offer. And maybe your doctor who's on board with you could get that word out too. Mm-hmm. You have some especially nervous patients ahead of time, or at least ask them, would you like to be connected with the Wellness Path group in Medway? Would you like that? Would that help you? I'd be the first one with my hand up, because I think that sometimes you're just like, God, give me anything you got. Not everyone's like that. They don't advocate for themselves, but this is terrific. Have you thought about that? Coaching the hospitals?
Yeah, we at least speaking for myself in the past, I've worked in a medical clinic, and so I've been part of the integrated medicine discussion back in Minnesota, in the sense of we were sitting down. I'd like to say it was round table, but it was basically fragmented. But at least we got our voice heard. I sat down with the the dean of curriculum at University of Wisconsin Medical School, and was able to kind of give my 2 cents about what they should be teaching as far as integrated medicine goes. And really what this comes down to is, unfortunately, there's a lot of ego in medicine, and there's a lot of politics and money in medicine, and so it's not, the patient kind of gets lost in that. So like when we have all these corporations that are on the public market, they're worried about their stock, their profits and their stockholders. Patients are down here somewhere.
Yeah, talk about insurance.
Well, and so really, what it does is it skews how medicine is practiced, and this is why I could be making a lot more money in Western medicine, and I chose to do this because I felt like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I did that. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that I think people practicing that shouldn't be able to sleep. I'm just speaking for myself. I wanted to help people with chronic health issues, and the way to help them is identifying the root causes of what they have and getting them to make changes. The answer is not in a pill or a surgery. Doesn't mean that those things aren't necessary sometimes.
Do it together in tandem.
Well, you do. It's right tool, right job. You don't just throw it in there just to do it in tandem either. You do it when it's necessary. Sure. That's the key. Yeah. And so there's a methodology to this, and a science behind this, and people just they have no idea. Yeah. Well, there's no research. Yes, there's plenty of research to this, and what we do. You should see the surprised look on people's faces when they sit down and work with me. Like, I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
What did you think it was going to be like? Did you think I was going to hold a doll up and go like this?
Yeah, the little
It's,
pins.
so it is a bit disappointing sometimes when you realize how much misinformation is out there and how just really the incredible lack of education that people have around healthcare because of our system, our really prominent systems. Like, we're it.
Yeah.
You come to us.
Does insurance cover when people come to you? Will their insurance cover?
So for psychotherapy, yes.
Yeah.
Paul's services aren't, he's not covered by insurance at this
Can you
point.
adjust it? Can you adjust your fee for people?
I'm going to weigh in on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest and say that acupuncture is covered by some, but in fact, out on the West Coast, it's covered almost completely. Here, less so. The actual answer is I don't take insurance.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to do that, there's a reason I do that, and I probably should just come forth with it and say, for 21 years, the kind of patient I want to work with values their health enough to pay for it. And the people who say, I want it because I've already paid for it, I want it to be free, they tend not to do the kind of work I need to do. Like they're changing their diet and do those things, so I don't necessarily want to work with them.
Right.
I want to work with people who want to do what
And then
the
you
work.
have the person, though, that very, let's say, low income and this type of thing, and they
Yeah.
want it with all their heart and soul.
You're absolutely right.
Then,
And that's why I have programs for them.
yeah, right. That's good.
So you have to make things available. If somebody comes to me and they want to do the work,
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to
You'll
make
work
it work.
with them.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
they're going to have to
awesome.
pay something, but
Definitely. Where are you from? I know you're from Minnesota. People.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I am from Massachusetts for most
So
of
you
my
grew up
life.
here.
Yeah.
You grew up here too. Do you all have children, families?
I have 2 little girls.
Two with little one. Okay, and
I have one adult girl.
Yeah.
oh, you do. By any chance, a millennial in her 20s?
Ellie is 22, and she is the best child on the planet.
Okay, I got one of those too in her 20s. Yeah, your time's coming. Well, I don't. So you two, you're trying to balance. Well, especially you with the little ones. How do you balance this? How do you get to work and be there for the children too? It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I work my hours based on that, that there's certain days that I'm with them after school and certain days I'm working late and I'm,
That's how you do
that
it.
focus towards
Where'd you go to
business.
college? Where'd you study?
For undergrad, I went to Mount Holyoke College,
Yeah.
and then I got my master's of social work from BU.
Oh wow! So you've been to BU, Mount Holyoke, and you were in Minnesota. Where did you go?
University of Minnesota, and then I wrote my degree in counseling at Metro State University, and I wrote that degree to go to acupuncture school. So
Yeah.
that was another 4 years after that.
Are you the only one in your family who does the acupuncture?
Yes. And so
big smile.
it's all science and medicine, and then it's me.
So you went that way.
Yep, I
You
went that way. I don't regret it because I love what I do. I like I said, if I wanted to work in emergency medicine or surgery, of course I would have followed that path. Yeah.
Okay. Again, how can they reach you? How can they get a hold of you?
Well, we each have different phone numbers.
Okay.
We're under the same website. It's the Balanced Path Wellness Center. It's yourbalancedpath.com. And Paul Gerst, 774-283-2726, and Cindy Meskey, 774-573-1644.
How hard is it to get an appointment with you two?
It's harder with Cindy. She brought a full practice over. I started new.
Okay. So a little bit easier, just a little bit easier with you right now.
Yep.
Wait till it fills up.
Oh, yeah. No, it's hard once I get going.
And Cindy, do you give hour sessions, 55 minutes?
They're 45-minute sessions typically.
About
Sometimes they'll
45.
run over a little.
And how about you? How long are your...
The initial visit with me is approximately an hour and a half. I don't bill on the hour; I bill per session. And so, of course, somebody comes in with tennis elbow. It's different than if they come in with, say, Crohn's or colitis, something like that. And so it's really the case. It's about 90 minutes for that initial visit, and about 45 to 60 for follow-ups.
Okay, not scary, right? Not
Nope.
scary at all.
No, it's a piece of cake.
How far do people come? Medway is kind of in a good location. How far out do people come usually? They're all over the lot? Or?
My furthest patient drives just over an hour one way to see me.
That's really good. That's really good. Now, those of us out here are lucky to have you because Medway is not that far from Upton and Milford. You're right down 109. Do you... Okay, I'd asked this before, but do you pass the Lotus, that Chinese restaurant, and just keep heading, right?
If you're coming
You like
from
the
Milford,
Lotus, don't you?
yeah.
I like Chinese food, so you keep going like this, right?
Right, if you're heading from Milford into Medway, yeah, you're going to pass the Lotus on your left.
Okay,
It's-
and
you
then
gotta
keep going.
I like
And
how
then,
Jan's internal GPS is surrounding Asian restaurants. That's awesome.
well, I've worked with clients down there, and they kept telling me, go past the Lotus restaurant. I'm like, oh, cool, you've got a Chinese restaurant down there. So that always stuck in my head. All right, so from Milford,
Yeah.
you go past Coles and all that. You head down past
It's
with a 495.
it's basically walking distance. It's on our side of the street, and it's past us. It's east of us. So
That's pretty good.
yes, it's right there.
So who's minding the store right now? Are you two gone?
We're closed today. We took the day off to be
cool.
with
We're
you.
here.
So are you there at the same times, or?
There's a lot of overlap,
Yeah, it's
but we have
overlap.
different hours.
So you have your own office in there, and you have your own office in there.
Yeah, we keep separate hours. We keep our own schedule, this kind of thing. So we practice out of the same office, same waiting area. I have two treatment rooms, and Cindy has her own.
I was wondering how that worked. That's really great. People can. It's like one-stop shopping.
Yeah.
Right.
In a manner of speaking, yeah.
I
Like
love the
said,
idea that they can come to you with psychotherapy, and then you can refer them.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in
Goes
the other.
both ways.
It goes both ways. I want to thank you both for being on. Very much. Good luck with this. This is
Thank you
about
for
time
having
we
us.
had some more of this around you. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.